What is going on, my Houston family? Y'all already know how I'm feeling. After doing the Yankees dirty last night and ready to do it again, I am feeling some type of way about our Houston Texans. We are traveling to Sin City going against the Las Vegas Raiders. Can this be another game where the Houston Texans keep it close and some players finally take the next step and hey, get a big win? You're going to Las Vegas and that beautiful stadium. It is a 3 o'clock game. If the Houston Texans win, some people will be looking at them. But these are my key points to victory against the Las Vegas Raiders. But before we do that, we are damn near 40 away from 5K subscribers, boys. Once we get there, I will be giving away the signed Houston Texans helmet. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Number one, you have to stop Josh Jacobs, who is, I think, number 3 right now in the NFL in rushing, 490 yards on the season, averaging 98 yards a game, 3 touchdowns so far. Dude is an absolute bowling ball. And when you're the Houston Texans, you need to focus on stomping this man, right? I really don't have too much faith in Derek Carr and these wide receivers just yet because there is miscommunication and disarray all through this, air attack offense from the Raiders. But the ground game is there. The ground game is solid. And this is something that you need to focus on if you're Lovie Smith and this Houston Texans defense. I don't know if we are going to get Christian Harris yet. I definitely want to see him starting. Rookie linebacker with that 4.4 speed. The run is definitely a problem. Number 58, Christian Kirksey, and number 51, Conmere Grugier-Hill. They really aren't good at identifying the run. And when you saw other linebackers go in, Blake Cashman, Neville Hewitt, Garrett Wallow, you saw better things not only in the run game but in coverage as well, and that is something that the Houston Texans should have been looking at during the bye week. But one of the key things that we need to focus on is this Las Vegas rushing attack because it is serious and it's something that we do have to keep an eye out for. Now, switching back to the Las Vegas Raiders passing attack, it's just been a disappointment, so far this season. When you trade for Davante Adams and you have Hunter Renfrow and everyone's expecting Derek Carr to take the next step this season, and they just haven't done that whatsoever. The game against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, you saw the frustration, you saw the miscommunication, right? Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow literally ran into each other and fell down, and the play was just dead from that point. And what happens after is Davante Adams goes and shoves a cameraman. I think there's much more issues, going on than what we know. And when you look at Derek Carr himself, man, the dude hasn't played good all season. 61.4 completion rate, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 87.7 rating. When he is targeting Darren Waller, that's where the interceptions come. 2 of them have came when targeting Waller. However, I think Waller tweaked his hamstring against the Chiefs. Don't think he will be ready to play. And, Hunter Renfrow really hasn't gotten going yet. So this is a game where I'm pretty sure everyone is expecting these Raiders offensive weapons to get it going. But when you look at this Houston Texans secondary, it is the bright spot of this team. And it's going to be a much harder day than what they thought. When you look at the secondary, our secondary is being led by, number 3 overall pick, Derek Stingley. Dude, four pass breakups on the season, a interception last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, coming into his own. And this whole secondary as a whole, they're allowing the QB 73.3 rating, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 57.6 completion rating against that secondary. That's why I'm saying maybe these, wide receivers from the Raiders, they think they're going to have a successful day, but none whatsoever. The Davante Adams versus Derek Stingley matchup I am excited for. I want to see more one-on-one. I want to see goal line matchups. If Davante Adams beat Derek Stingley, that's okay. Iron sharpens iron. But the way this offense for the Raiders have played, the past couple games, the secondary, might have a very good day. And his partner in crime, Steven Nelson, has played fantastic so far this whole season, been a legit number 2 corner, something the Houston Texans haven't had in a very long time. Not only that, Jonathan Owens, Jalen Petrie, our 2 safeties back there are playing so fantastic this season. Petrie leading them with 2 interceptions. My main, concern with the secondary is now that Desmond King is playing good and now that Tavierre Thomas is coming back, which one of these slot corners is going again, more amount of playing time. Hopefully right now it's still Desmond King, but as the season goes on, we do see Tavierre Thomas get thrown in there one way or another. Nonetheless, I like this secondary over this Las Vegas wide receivers. When you're switching to the offensive for the Houston Texans and some of the key points that they need, number one, it is the Dameon Pierce show. Ride 31 until you can't. He showed it last week that he can put the team on his back. 5 yards a carry, 412 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season for rookie Dameon Pierce, a front runner for dark horse of rookie of the year. And it's only gonna be, solidify what they fire game against the Las Vegas Raiders. But they do have a pretty good Russian defense. They have Max Crosby. They also have Diablo, the linebacker, who's been playing fantastic all season. Chandler Jones for the Raiders hasn't gotten going yet whatsoever, but expect him, to try to get his first sack on the season against this Houston Texans offensive line. This is key for them. They went into the bye week strong. A good day against their run. A good day and holding Davis Mills up so he can make some key throws, that were able to help us win the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the secondary is not really much a issue for me. I think we might see a little bit better game from Davis Mills. The only bright spot from the Raiders secondary is Rock Ya-Sin, who's playing very decent after being, his first stint with the Colts. Surprisingly for Rock Ya-Sin, dude has, I think, like 6 pass breakups. Shout out to him. But the rest of the Raiders secondary is not there. 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Everyone is throwing against them. They are throwing up the middle on them. If you're Davis Mills, once again, you have an opportunity to put your name back on that list and say, I can be a starting quarterback and I could be here for a lot of years to come. You need to go out on the road, which you do not play good. You didn't even play good, against the Jaguars. You did just enough to win the game. But in a stadium like that, at a 3 o'clock game, Davis Mills, if you go out there and light it up and move the chains and score some points like you should be able to against this Raiders defense, then things are looking good for you. I am excited for this game against the Raiders. Y'all let me know how y'all think it's going to play out. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.